Good morning. Again, this is Vinny, the knife guy, doing my second live stream for today. Customer just dropped off 14 Cutco knives. 2 are not. These are just off-brand ones. So 12 Cutco knives, but 14 knives in total. This cleaver has some damage up top. So customer asked me to try and flatten this out and smooth it out so it looks a little bit more uniform. I told him it's gonna look a little different than this guy over here, but he's totally fine with that. And then one of these has a broken tip on it. And it's a straight knife, so that's gonna be kind of tough to sharpen. So I told him I'll do the best I can on it. If it was a straight edge, it would be a lot easier. Here it is. So this one has a broken tip. I could file it down here. So we'll see what I can do on it. But that's the broken tip one. All right, so, all right. Let's get the sharpening. I'm gonna start with a 120 grit Kubatron belt. Make sure the angle is still set at 17. "17 on the dot." Perfect. All right. So let's get the sharpening. Let's go one by one. And Gabo, what's going on, buddy? You're back. I'm back. So let's see. Customer dropped off these Cutco knives, and this cleaver he never uses, but it has a lot of this damage up top. Let's see if I can try and zoom in, if you guys can focus. So I told him it's going to look different once I try to polish this up from here, and it already has a little bit of like a line of demarcation. So I told him I'll do the best I can on it. So I'll probably use like the 120 grit to just clean it up. I'll just probably do that, clean that up a little bit, and then polish it out with the 600. And then this knife, no, not that knife. This knife here has a broken tip on it. If this was a straight edge, I would easily round it off from the spine and back here, but I'd have to come down, since it's serrated, I'd have to pretty much come at this angle and try and blend it over, but that's just not how this is. So he said he's totally fine having it blunted for right now. So that's just, it's tough. It's tough to make this one look good when it's just a flat spine right here. Plus there's a lot of steel, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn if I should try to mess with this, or I already talked to him. He said it's fine just leaving it blank, but I might be able to shape it in for him, come up here. So we'll see. All right, guys, that's all I got for right now. Let's get the sharpening. This is set at 17 on the angle, edge leading, starting with 120 grit Kubatron belt. Dino, how's it going? All right, so my machine is kind of loud. So if there's any questions, I'll just stop and answer any questions that there is. That.
I know I need to finish that card. Yeah. All right.
Gabo, I agree. I think I might get some little stands for it. On the wall is fine, but I'm usually face down on this, so I'm going to switch grits here. I'm going to do 80 grit on that cleaver to try and take out those deep scratches. Let's see. Yeah, Paulo, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying, so I can't help you out. All right, so I already took out some deep scratches with this already with the 120, but this will help take out those deeper ones. And yeah, we gotta go pretty deep here to take these out. So let's get back at it. And then when I get to the 600 grit, that's when I'll sharpen the serrated knives.
All right.
Okay, that sucked. There is no, yeah, that just sucked. All right. Hello wants to make a video and doesn't know the slightest thing about framing. I am not the world's best a videographer. I don't know. I did watch a lot of YouTube to try and find out what is best. So, again, like YouTube is your best friend. Just understand the first few videos that you make are gonna be not the best, and don't let that stop you. So, just nerd out, learn from it. So, I think that will help the most. Hello, I love watching. So, I'm not making knives, Linda. I'm just sharpening. Absolutely, Bobby. You can totally use a belt sander. People freehand all the time. So a lot of people have a regular Harbor Freight one. You can easily just freehand up here or whatever. I have a platen, an angle guide, so it gives me more consistent angles. So, I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. Obviously, I did take out a lot of steel to get down to those chips. But, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll touch it up with a 120. But yeah, this sucked. I was not a fan of that. So let me clean all this up just real quick. So if you do collect your metal shavings like how I do, have a metal ash can with you. Harbor Freight sells belt sanders for like $50. So check out Harbor Freight first. Yeah, I think that might be like your best bet actually. And these are specialized belt sanders, not necessarily used for knife sharpening, but I'm making it work like that. So this is a Tulker I got off Amazon. This was about $300, but you don't need anything like this set up at all. All right, so this was the 80 grit. So I was moving side to side using the whole belt because I didn't want to just burn up only one side of it. In Australia, so the dollars are, yeah. We're in Australia. My wife's family is from Queensland. So I'm just gonna touch up the back edge with this, with the 120, try and refine the scratch pattern a little bit. So, but yeah, that was not my favorite knife sharpening job. Queensland, that's cool. That's all I know in Australia. I don't know any of the subdivisions in Queensland, but they have a property, a ranch over there. So we are planning to go to Australia next year, actually.
Well, thank you very much for watching this live stream all the way from Australia. I appreciate it. Brisbane. God, I don't know. I have to ask like my wife exactly where. All right, so we're done with the 120 grit. We just use a 600 grit Trizac. All right, let me use this one just to finalize that scratch pattern, and hopefully the customer likes it. All right.
So I'm going to use my 1200 grit A16 to do all the serrated knives. Cutco serrated knives are probably like my worst knives because they're not traditionally shaped. Let me zoom in here. So I have to sharpen it on the back edge. So the problem why I can't go on the front, because these are D-shaped serrations. So even if I use a diamond wheel, I'd be cutting in a completely different serration. So obviously this is something you need to talk to your customer about if they're fine with it. I know this one has a chip missing, so just do the best you can, but Cutco sells a proprietary D-shaped sharpener. It's hand sharpen, and it's super expensive. And yeah, so if you come across any Cutco serrated knives, you just have to let the customer know. You have to touch it up on the back edge, or use your diamond wheel and sharpen it with how you would a normal serration. So I have my on-off magnet here, and we are going to sharpen all the serrated knives. And I have my wire wheel. What's your source? Cliff Curry is my source for all my belts. I'm sorry, let me zoom out. So left to right, I have my diamond belts on the left for ceramic knives, my Scotch-Brite belts, 50 grit, 80 grit, my 120. So these are all Kubatron belts. Then down here are Trizex, 600 grit, 1200 grit, 4000 grit, leather belts, felt belts, and my Ken Onion smaller belts, which I also got from him. So there's other places out there that have belts like red label abrasives or combat abrasives. I've only got I've only got belts from Cliff Curry. So that's all I know, but I've been very happy with them. So if it works, I don't think I really need to switch. I would love to test out the other belts, I just haven't. So to sharpen the serrated knives, I touched up on the back edge, so I created a burr. Now I'm going to move the burr back and forth using my wire wheel, which is not gonna leave any marks. Why don't people get the stay sharp knives? I know, well, if they did, I'd be out of business.
All right.
Okay. Let's see what I missed on the messages. I know. It's very impressive what they could do on the movie Magic. So, let's say your ceramic knife gets dull. Is it possible? Yeah, ceramic knives. That's why I got the diamond belts. These are super expensive compared to my other stuff. Like these are very expensive belts, but they're so hard that they cut through the ceramic. The problem with ceramic is you cannot sharpen it so acutely, or the edge is just going to be brittle and chip. So you have to sharpen it more, like around 20 degrees or so. It's tough. I would love to sharpen knives for the sharpening channel. Give me your business. All right. Very good, very good. Very happy. I only sharpen the serrated knives to 600 grit. Come on now. Okay, might have to touch that guy up. So you see how it's catching? So this one needs a little bit more work on. One's just tearing. Catching right there at the very tip. Perfect. Catching a little bit on the tip. Okay, we'll work on that. And then this is why I go through each knife. I want to make sure I give the customer the best experience. That's very good. This piece of paper is pretty much done. Catching a little bit. Okay, so let me work on these three right here. Sometimes it just needs one or two more passes, or if that doesn't work, then I'll actually resharpen them again. So. Yeah, these ones are tough. Water wheel. Still catching up there, so I'll have to resharpen that one. Yeah, Lori, I agree with you. They should be smooth, but these, I like that one. That cuts a lot better. Serrated knives will always make like this more sound because it's actually doing a little bit of cutting. Okay, I'm gonna sharpen that guy again. And let's see what happens if we use the 1200 grit on these three. Still catching up here. All right, let's go back, resharpen these three, and the rest will all hit again. Well, I'll hit the new ones with the 1200 grit. Oh, I have the Ken Onion, not for offsite work, but if I have to, they work really well for hitting pruners. Because I'm able to get the, there's a lot of stuff right here. I'm sorry, you can't see. There's a lot of stuff right here that you got the platen and the wheels. On the Ken Onion, I use the front of it, and I can get the pruners in and touch up the front of any pruner or lopper.
I take that angle guide off of it though.
Again. These are not all bread knives. Half are straight edge, half are straight edge. Yeah. So that was probably just the burr getting popped back. So
just to spend a little bit more time on the burr removal process on these.
let's see where we're at now. Let's see. How do you keep the right angle on the blade? I do Japanese knives. This angle guide moves, so I'm able to adjust it. On the Cutco ones, I did 17 on the angle, but on Japanese knives, I usually drop it to 13 to 15, depending on what kind of Japanese knife it is. So so this green is just frog tape I have on the platen or on the angle guide, and that allows me to adjust the angle. Still catching a little bit up there. Right up here. Oops. Spend a little bit more time at the tip right there. Okay, this one's cutting a lot better. Yeah, the tip. Okay, there we go. That one's cutting a lot better. More at the tip. Let's see. Again. It's cutting. Okay, there we go. That one just tore. Okay. So the burr was still sticky on that one. Sweet. Spend one more time on this guy. That was only sticky at the very top of that knife. There we go. There we go. So this has spent a little bit more time at the very tip. All good. Sweet. So now we'll hit the straight edge ones with a 1200 grit. Then we'll use the leather belt to remove the burrs off those. And then we will be done. All right. These good. So again, I have a 1200 grit Trizac belt, just a few equal passes on both sides, and then we'll move over to my other machine that has like the leather strop. all done sharpening with that. Let me catch my comments. How often do people sharpen their knives? Hardly ever. I see a lot of people who have had their knives for like 20 years that has never had them sharpened, or I have very few people that come get them sharpened on a regular basis. So it all just depends on the person. I've had people come see me every 3 months. They're very diligent about that. I've had people come see me every 6 months or every year. So it just depends. So I have my leather strop here. This is to remove any burr that's left over from the edge leading. Are they steak knives? Half are steak knives, half are straight edge knives. Gabo, I appreciate it, man. Happy New Year, man. Thank you very much. Take care. Rude, I've used this for everything. I have to sharpen this behemoth. This is just a novelty my coworker gave me. So I need to remove the scratch pattern or take off the rust, put a new scratch pattern on, and this is going to be insane. So if it fits on my angle guide, which it looks like it does, it's just gonna take me a minute, and then yeah, we'll get the sharpening on it. So just for comparison, this crazy knife is bigger than this whole knife block. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Gable, she is chunky. She's a thick gal. So I will probably make a live stream of removing the rust and sharpening it tomorrow. So it'll probably be a live stream tomorrow since I have to get it done before I go back to work. So now let's move these over here. All right. Now I'm just gonna hit each knife with the leather strap for only a few passes, and we'll see how they cut.
All right.
So we are done sharpening. Very important. Never leave any of your belts, or your leather belts on the machine. They will stretch over time since it's a natural fabric. It's okay to leave your other knives up on the machine, but just out of habit, just take it off. So, let's see. Crocodile Dundee would be very proud of that knife. All right. So, we tested the straight knives. They cut. Let's see how the straight edge ones do. Beautiful. Oops. Beautiful. See how this cleaver does? Very good. The paper is just super thin, so kill the tip. Very good. Very happy with that. Very happy with that. Very good. These are cutting very, very nice. Okay. Well, again, let's see how this one does. Yep. Just cut right there. There we go. Slice all the way through. That was a straighter one. All right, so all these knives are done. Call the customer. Actually, my wife went down with some rubbing alcohol. Then I'll call the customer. So, cool. Rubbing alcohol. I spray every knife down just to make sure it's clean of debris or whatever. And I still tell the customer to wash it with soap and water before they cook with it. So I totally appreciate everyone coming on the live stream. If you haven't, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up. It does help the channel grow, and I really appreciate any support that you guys have given me so far. So in the live streams, I'm not really teaching too much and just mostly sharpening. If you guys want me to spend more time, explaining things, slowing stuff down, please let me know. I do plan on making a lot more like how-to videos, but in the meantime, when I'm doing the live streams, if you guys have any questions, I'll shut the machines down and answer them, so I appreciate it. Now you guys get to see me just clean up a little bit. Watch my OCD. $14 knives in about 1 hour. Had to spend some time doing, taking that giant chips off on the cleaver. Hopefully the customer's happy, and then he'll inspect it just right away. So if I need to grind down a little bit more, then I'll do that. But I think he'll be very happy with it. And again, my name is Vinny, the owner of the Knife Guy. If you have any knives that you want sharpened, you can send them to me in Reno, Nevada. I'm a full-time fireman, but then I also sharpen the knives on my days off, so. Awesome. Let's attach some tape. Get this out of here. Oops. Attach a couple business cards here and here. All right, guys, that's all I got for you for today. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a second live stream for today. Just had this random customer call me up. So if you guys have any more questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be cleaning up for a minute. Shameless plug. If you enjoyed this, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, which you guys are on right now. So thank you guys very much. That's all I got for you today again. So have a great day. This is Vinny, and take care. Bye.